Hey there, it's Lenny McGill with the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop right here in San Diego, and I want to introduce to you today a brand new holster that is improved over some existing concepts. And there's lots of holsters out there, I know that. But I saw this and I thought, you know what? We're going to go ahead and bring that in, and we're going to go ahead and be the exclusive distributor for that here. And I want to show it to you because it's pretty darn amazing. Okay. Now again, the concept is not new, but it is improved. So first and foremost, it's a locking holster, and it's operated with a finger button. Now the finger button has many, detractions from some people because of the older design. So I got to show it to you, and I'm not going to mention anybody's name, but I will take it out of the package here, and you're going to look at it and you're going to know exactly what it is, all right? This is the one that was introduced several years ago. And it got a bad rap because of the positioning of that button. And there's a couple other things that really were improved, and I'll show you what they are. So basically, this holster, which we've sold, I'll be honest, and we still do sell, it has a shortcoming. When you put the gun into it, and you have to activate this this button, the problem is the placement of the button will put your finger in a position where it can automatically drop into the trigger. Just the positioning of the button. Now, okay, so if I just come out, that's basically what's happening. So that has proven to be a problem for some shooters. This particular holster is no longer available or no longer acceptable on certain ranges. In fact, Front Sight won't allow you to use this holster. So many of you now know what it is, okay? Because of that, because they've had accidental discharges where someone's drawing and gets on the trigger too fast. And I think a lot of it is because of the placement of the button and where it is and how you have to activate it. So if you get down there and you do that, you see what your finger's almost ready to go to the trigger. So you're pushing, and there you are. You slide right off into the trigger. That, of course, has shown that it's a problem. All right? So you can train yourself, of course, to keep your finger off. But if you don't shoot a lot, people have a tendency to fall off into it. So you have to be very conscious. The other thing that I noticed when I first started, selling these years ago, is that if you get on the holster fast and you start to pull off, before you activate that button, you can't activate the button because there's pressure outward. So if I'm down on the holster, I pull, get down there fast, the button doesn't work, I've got to let go and then activate the button. That has been a problem in my mind since day one because, when things are happening, you want to get down there fast and you don't want to be doing that. Oh, let me relax and go there. So again, you have to train yourself. This is operator error, but it's because of inherent in the design is operator error. So we're trying to eliminate that with this new design. But again, if you get on this holster fast and you pull on it and you try to push that button, nothing happens. And I'm pulling on both sides. If I relax and push the button and then pull. So again, that's training. But when things are happening, and if you don't train a lot, you can see how that could be a problem. So we got two issues with this holster. One is the fact that the placement of the button, and two is the fact that you have to activate the button before you apply pressure to pull the gun out. The locking concept is sound. It's just the execution. So this is an improved version. That's what I'm trying to introduce to you today. It's improved. And if you'll notice, right away you're going to see the position of the button is higher up than this one, to facilitate keeping your finger along the frame as you draw. So when you activate the button, you're higher up. Activate the button, you're higher up. I don't really have to push into it like so. Boom. So this holster is going to go away. And we're replacing it with this one because it's a better design. I got to be honest. That's just the bottom line. Let's talk about it. Same concept. Come down, get on it, push the button, out it goes. Okay, if you train yourself, you're going to automatically put your finger where it's supposed to be anyways. It does take practice, but it's much more intuitive because of the positioning and the size of that button. If I were even low on the button, I'm still right here. I have to keep my finger flat. If I poke at it, I could fall at it. So what we want to learn, we want to train ourselves to do is to have the finger flat against the paddle, because that will facilitate coming out and drawing with a proper technique where the finger is not near the trigger or in the trigger guard, it's alongside the frame or the slide. All right, so that's good. Now the other thing that has been improved here is that I can pull on it and still activate the button. Okay, that's something that we talked about, something we worked with the manufacturer on to make sure that, hey, people sometimes get on it, they're in a hurry, but you can still activate that button. And I am putting pressure on here as much as I can, and I can still activate the button. And I will guarantee that you will be happy with that feature, because it allows you to get on there fast, and no matter what, just touch that button. So if I'm pulling back and pushing forward here so that there's some pressure, just to activate the button and the gun still comes out. So I really like that feature. So now, the holster not only has a better design, but it's got some other features that I think are very important and that I want to demonstrate. Now, first of all, it's going to fit most of your Glock 9mm and 40 caliber and 357. That would be your 19s, your 23s, your 17s, your 22s, your 31s, your 32s, your 34, and your 35. It's not going to fit the 26 or 27. But let's go ahead. Here is a Glock 17 Gen 4. Yes, sticks out just a little bit, but still very functional. Glock 19, also 23. Yes, fits perfectly into the gun. And a Glock 34, 35. Yes. So there we are. So those are the three sizes. So you really have your full size, your compact, and your long slide, 9mm, 40 caliber, and 357. The holsters come with a paddle attachment as well as what they call a belt attachment too. And this is a really neat feature that I think is actually better than a belt loop. So whereas many holsters, the other one in particular, had a belt loop where you loop your belt through, this is more of a belt clamp. And I'll show you how that works when we actually get to the other side of the studio and actually put it on my belt. But you can actually envision this. You actually stick this over top and then just go ahead and stick it down and lock it in place. It does come apart with a little bit of pressure, and it comes with 2 Allen screws, like I said, and it comes with both the paddle, which is this one here, and the belt in the same package. Let's see which one I want to open up right here. So here's what you get. You get basically the holster body with the paddle attachment. You get the belt attachment, and you also get the Allen screws. And now, one of the things to keep in mind, again, is that to change these, it's relatively simple. So let me show you real quick. And what's also neat is that this has an adjustable angle. So take our Allen screws, and we're going to go ahead and remove these 2 screws, and we're going to add the belt clip. It's very simple, as you might expect. Just a couple of twists here, because it's a relatively short screw. And same thing up top here. And we'll take that guy off, which is the paddle adapter. And now this is the belt, and you'll notice that it goes on like so, and the screw holes will match up. So we'll just stick them right back in there. And what I like about this, again, is that it is adjustable. And the fact that you can put this onto your belt, whether it be the holster or the magazine pouch, and you do not have to take your belt off. So that's either with the paddle or this belt attachment. So it's not a belt loop, it's a belt attachment. Now, so there's the holster, right? Okay, so I can actually clip it onto my belt like we talked about, and I'll show you that in another shot here. Or I can, I can also adjust the angle if I want to just tilt it a little bit. Let me get this one loosened up a little bit. Just tilt it up a little bit this way or that way. A little bit more, a little looser here will be good. And I would tilt it over there like that. And I'm going to crank it over the whole way so you can kind of see how you could actually put this on your belt and have it tilted backwards or go the other way, tilt it forward, depending upon where you want to wear it. So that's what's a really nice feature, is the fact that it's adjustable. And I'm telling you what, a belt loop or belt attachment that you don't have to loop through your belt is a huge advantage, because looping through your belt is cumbersome and just not really a lot of fun. Plus, it can scratch your belt. Now, the other thing too is you'll notice it has a little retention piece here, and it also has a small Allen screws right here that allow you to adjust for the size of the belt. Although I'm going to tell you that this retention piece is going to grab your belt and really kind of lock it in place no matter what. But it is nice to adjust those down if you have a smaller belt. It's going to accommodate, I think, up to about a 2-inch belt here. And most jean belts are 1.5 inch. Dress belts are usually 1.25 inch. So it's definitely got lots of adjustability for that. So that's the holster, okay? Again, it's got some great features, not only from an ergonomic perspective and a locking perspective, but also the fact that it's got these 2 platforms, the paddle and belt. And remember, the paddle allows you to just slip it into your belt. Don't even have to be wearing a belt, really just your waistband. And so it's a nice, easy way to put the gun into your pants. And if you want to take it out, you take it out. So what I recommend for people who say, well, what holster should I use? I say, well, it depends on how you're going to use it. If you're in, say, an office environment and the doors are locked and that everything's good, it's safe in there, and so you don't want to wear the gun all day, basically leave it in the holster, take it out of the paddle, put it in your desk or somewhere safe, right? When you're getting ready to leave, hey, just open it up and slip it into your belt, and now you have it on, and you can go do your stuff, and you still have a gun basically readily available. When you're done with it, again, you don't take your belt off and go through that whole process. You just slip it right out, and there it is. And I actually recommend you just leave it in the holster if it's going to be, a kind of a temporary thing. So then, basically the gun is somewhat secure in a sense. It can't get a hand on it right away. So that's actually a very nice way to operate this thing. And of course, like I said, with the belt, the same thing is true here. Now, this thing, instead of if you really want it to be on your belt, then you can just undo this and take it out and go away. So the key with the belt is that it does hold it a little bit tighter to your body than the paddle does, just a little bit. And as far as concealment goes, well, that depends on what you're wearing. So these are not deep concealment holsters, but they can be concealed depending upon, again, what you're wearing. So the last thing I want to show you with this package, okay, and these are separate items, but corresponding to, because people always will say, well, what about magazine pouches? Well, the same is true with the magazine pouch. It's the same concept. We have it with both. It comes with both the paddle as well as this belt clip, okay? And here it is attached to the belt clip. The beauty of this is that it's a double mag pouch with a retention that allows it to hold on to these magazines. So there's an empty Glock 17 magazine, right? So that's actually, you see this little retention piece right here? So it goes in, and it's not gonna come out. A lot of people go, well, that's cool, but what about a loaded magazine? Well, this magazine has 23 rounds of 9mm in it. So we're gonna go ahead and stick it in there, and it's not coming out either. Okay, unless I want it out. So that's how they work great. I mean, it really is a neat feature. And again, I love the fact that it's got a belt clip that's easy on, easy off. You can actually slip it over your belt, click it into place, and then boom, it's locked in place. You want to unlock it, you just pull down, pull it off your belt and go. And that's a pretty darn good little system. So the price point on these is great. The functionality is great. The finish is great. I mean, I really have great things to say about these, because when I saw it, I just knew right away that this was an item that was going to be a strong one for us because of the improved locking system, the fact that it comes with both a paddle and a belt, and there's a matching dual magazine pouch. So it's kind of brand new. We just got them, and I wanted to introduce them to you because everybody's looking for a holster solution. And the locking holster I showed you earlier kind of got a bad rap because of the positioning of that paddle or that locking release system. You're going to find that this new version is greatly enhanced and improved. So that said, if you're looking for a double mag pouch, sold separately, looking for a locking holster that can be worn either paddle or belt, that's another great item. I'm Lenny McGill. This is the LOK Holster. And you'll hear lots more about that in the future. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.